Devon puts Lily on the spot about her feelings for Damian, and Claire stumbles upon Kyle holding Summer. Today, on The Young and the Restless, Nikki promises to give Claire her support. Amy meets with an oncologist, and Summer assures Kyle she has no issues with his relationship. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Kyle runs into Summer at the athletic club as she's picking up takeout. He comments that it's like they are all living together again. One big happy family at the athletic club, she jokes. He says Harrison is enjoying going between their suites. He's just hoping the renovations on the manse will end soon and they can get home. When he asks after her mom, she admits she's been trying to convince herself not to worry, but this is all so odd. After everything that happened with Heather, Phyllis must know how worried they would be, and she doesn't think she would intentionally put them through this nightmare. It's enough to make her believe something terrible has happened. As she tears up, he pulls her in to sob on his shoulder. Claire strolls through the rotating doors and stops in her tracks as she spots them looking cozy. Claire comes over and interrupts. Summer backs away and says that going over what's worrying her just got to her. Claire explains she's there for a business lunch with Nikki. It's a surprise to Summer that she's so ambitious in corporate life. She's still surprised by how fast she dropped her passion for working with children. Her cousin explains how much she loved working with Harrison. That did so much to center her after the trauma of dealing with Jordan. But being back in the corporate world is comfortable and energizing. Kyle says that means she's exactly where she needs to be. Summer cringes as she watches them, and then dredges up the hell that Claire helped Jordan put the family through. For the first time in a long time, I'm not grasping onto something out of desperation, insists Claire. Nikki drifts in and admires Claire for being early. She and Summer catch up on the Phyllis and Sharon issue, and Nikki tries to reassure her granddaughter that her mom will soon make her return. Explaining that her car is having issues, Summer asks Kyle for a lift to work. She heads to the door and looks back, glaring as Kyle gives Claire a kiss goodbye. Once Summer and Kyle are gone, Nikki asks her weary-looking granddaughter if anything is wrong. They get a table and Nikki explains she sensed some awkwardness in the air between her granddaughters. Claire claims it's nothing, but Nikki prods her, claiming she loves them both. With that, Claire admits that she has the impression that Summer has issues with her relationship with Kyle. She's not sure if she wants him back, but something seems to be going on, and she wonders if Victor is urging Summer to reconnect with her ex. Nikki will concede that her husband occasionally takes things a bit far when it comes to disapproving of relationships. Admitting she has no proof for her suspicions, Claire adds that Summer seems emboldened lately when it comes to Kyle. She can't help but speculate on what's behind that. Summer seems to have become more aggressive in using her past with Kyle to drive a wedge between them. Claire worries she's just being insecure and paranoid. Her grandmother tells her she doesn't need to feel insecure about anything. If she has a good relationship, she should hold on to it as long as she's happy. She'll admit that, as much as she loves Summer, she can't deny she has some of her mother's tendencies. She urges Claire not to let that intimidate her. She's sure things will settle down, and they can live as a blended family. Nikki promises to do all in her power to make sure no one, not even Victor, takes that from her. She will always have her support. When Summer and Kyle arrive at Crimson Lights, he notes she was very quiet on the ride over and wonders if something is on her mind. He can't shake the feeling that she's upset about his relationship with Claire. As they get their coffees, she tells him he can be involved with anyone he wants to be. "I care about you," she admits. She has some residual protective feelings and doesn't want him to be hurt. If that's all this is, he urges her to let this go. His parents worry about him enough already. Summer can't shake her concerns that her grandfather might try to mess things up for him. Kyle claims not to be scared of Victor's opposition. He can't run his life or Claire's and won't let him impact Harrison. She's impressed that he wants to stand up to her grandpa, but most who try fail. "He doesn't have the power to fire me as Claire's boyfriend," he points out. She jokingly asks if he's sure of that. Kyle is sure Claire can't be bullied, but Summer asks if it's worth it, given how bad it might get. "It's more than worth it," he insists. That makes her ask if he's falling in love with Claire. Thinking that over, he says he's not sure things have reached that stage, but he could see it happening. Things are developing naturally, and he hopes Summer is being sincere that this isn't an issue for her. She claims she's not wasting any time thinking about it. When he heads out to the car, she bites her lip. At Nate's penthouse, Emmy sighs as she explains she finally feels like she has reconnected with her son. He says that's what they were hoping for. She's not deluding herself into thinking things are perfect, but they reminisced and cried about the past. Sounds intense, he says. Emmy feels like her son might now be willing to find a way to forgiveness. He even spoke about getting to know his half-brother better too. Hastings is happy and relieved to hear all of this. They didn't know what to expect. Damian's mom kept a lot of secrets from him. Nate adds that his half-brother has been pretty mysterious himself, and he nearly expected him to vanish. With her curiosity piqued, Emmy asks if he learned something she doesn't know. He explains that Lily did some investigating on her own and discovered that the companies Damian claimed to own are actually owned by a mystery man named Aristotle Dumas. Damian is only the CEO. On one hand, Emmy is relieved since she couldn't imagine how her son could have paid for two companies. On the other, she worries about why he would agree to be a front for this Dumas. Nate says they shouldn't automatically assume the worst. She can agree to that and wants to have faith that all will be okay. Her son seems to be doing well. Standing, Nate announces he has more good news. He explains his oncologist friend has cleared her schedule and is coming over to discuss treatment options with her. Emmy is ready for anything that will give her more reasons to hope. He says that Dr. Kelly is on the cutting edge, so he's hopeful and they should be thinking positive. Emmy admits she's flooded with positive vibes from him and Audra. Now that she knows there's a chance she can heal things with her son, she will cling to anything that can give her more time. Things are finally looking up in so many ways, so why not believe in this miracle too? Nate has already done more for her than she deserves. Sobbing, she hugs him close. Devon and Lily are on the patio of Crimson Lights when Damian strolls in. Spotting Lily, he says hello, and she introduces him to her brother. Damian admits that after being offered a job at Winters, he dug into Devon's career and admires how successful he's been. After taking the compliment, Devon starts grilling him for lying about the companies he claimed to own. Lily admits that she was the one who felt compelled to dig into his life. She and Devon are protective of their family and couldn't get over him sending an imposter to meet Nate. Damian protests that he explained why he was suspicious, and he was right to be. I was being cautious, not nefarious, he insists, adding they have nowhere near the full story. They can understand him being cautious, but what was he looking to find by coming to Genoa City? Information, Damian says. Nate's interest raised some red flags, so he assumed there was more to it. It turns out he was right. He can understand them wanting to protect their family, but he has no secret agenda. He points out that he just discovered that most of what he believed about his life and family has been a lie. He has a half-brother he was never aware of and his mom is dying. While they may be wondering about what he's up to, he can't shake the same feelings about them. They understand he's had a lot to deal with and explain they are only concerned about their cousin. After Lily walks away to take a call, the men sit at a table. Immediately, Devon explains they have a lot in common because he didn't know his biological father for most of his life either. His mom always lied about it, and it wasn't until much later that he learned it was Tucker. Damian appreciates him, sharing that, but Devon adds he still doesn't trust him. The way he's operated has been questionable. He's been hiding his connections, sending imposters, and lying about owning companies. Devon has no idea what his motives are or why he's keeping so many things secret. Damian insists his only motive is curiosity and a need to protect his privacy. Anyway, he doubts Nate would have come clean with him at the outset. He has every reason to suspect Nate and Emmy, but he's still willing to talk things over with them. Why aren't Devon and Lily on the same page? Lily joins them as Devon claims he's still willing to give Damian the benefit of the doubt. He can always count on him being blunt and direct. Damian thanks him for the warning and asks Lily if she'd care to join him for dinner again. How about tonight? He asks. Devon shoots his sister a look. She offers to check her calendar and get back to him. He's sure his number is in her Rolodex so she can call him. After Damian exits, Devon wonders why his sister seems so forgiving of Damian. She wonders why he opened up to Damian about all they'd learned about him. Devon just doesn't trust the guy, and it's concerning to see that she seems to have some kind of feelings for him. She explains she can see why Damian thinks they are being untrustworthy. Her brother insists their cards are on the table. He thinks it was telling that Damian started playing the victim when he confronted him. That leads him to suspect there are a lot more secrets than what they've uncovered. Nate and Amy want things to work out with him, so they are blind to the bigger picture. Devon isn't saying this is all bad, but they should be skeptical. Lily explains that she spent time with Damian and doesn't feel like he's dangerous. Her brother wonders why she's making excuses and wants to go to dinner with him. Is this turning into something personal for you? He asks. She doesn't see the harm in getting to know him better. That's a way to get answers without scaring him off. That sounds fine to him, but he'd hate for her to get close to this man only for their worst suspicions about him to come true. Back at Nate's penthouse, he jogs down the stairs after a business call. Amy is reading about his oncologist friend and how highly respected she is. That makes her hopeful, but she's trying not to let her expectations get unreasonably high. As Nate tells her they need to take it one step at a time, there's a knock at the door. It's Damian, looking for his mother. They embrace and he asks if he can treat his mother to lunch. She'd love nothing more, but is meeting a cancer specialist. Damian thinks that's great. Dr. Kelly arrives and Nate makes the introductions. Nate asks his half-brother to grab some lunch with him while the two women talk.